Australian universities will be in meltdown today because US President Donald Trump woke up and chose violence. Well, when I say violence, what I mean is that he asked a few questions. But we all remember how the snowflakes reacted when Elon Musk asked them one question.
What would you say you do here?
So I can only imagine the meltdown that's happening right now amongst Australia's intelligentsia because of this scary question. But actually, this isn't about Trump or unis or taxpayer funding. This simple questionnaire actually charts a way forward for us all. My name's Topher Field. This is the Topher Project, and I help people like you to understand the world as it changes around you. And Donald Trump is most certainly changing the world just by doing his job. And in this case, he's simply making sure that anything funded by US taxpayers is something that is good for US taxpayers. Revolutionary, I know. So he sent a questionnaire to every organization that receives American money, asking some basic questions to make sure that American money isn't being used to fund activities which are not in their interests. It's basic stuff, just good, solid financial accountability and management. The trouble is, we're not used to that around here, and what a lot of Australian universities do is not in the interests of, frankly, any Western government, not the UK, the US, the EU, nor Australia. So some of these questions, well, their answers are not going to be what Donald Trump is looking for, which means that the US money gravy train, which Australian universities have enjoyed for so long, might have reached its last stop. Now, not every one of these 36 questions will be a question, not at all. It's only question 5, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, and 19. But besides those, the unis will pass with flying colours, I'm sure. Let's go through these difficult questions and appreciate the brilliance in their simplicity. Question 5. Do you encourage free speech and open debate? Well, already that's an instant fail for most Australian universities. How about 11? Can you confirm that you do not work with any communist, socialist, totalitarian, or anti-American entities? Well, any university that associates with the Australian Greens has failed already. Question 12. Are you reliant on international organizations or global governance structures, e.g. the UN and the World Health Organization?
This is fun.
Question 13. Confirm that you have not received any funding from the People's Republic of China, specifically Confucius Institutes. Oh, damn. That one's going to cause some heartburn in the faculties because Australia has been home to as many as 14 Confucius Institutes at one time or another, including one that was located within the New South Wales Department of Education itself. Yeah, that's not a good look. Question 15. No DEI. That is an instant fail. And question 17. Does it support US energy independence or reduce reliance on hostile countries for energy resources? Now, this one's a little less clear, but what is clear is that our intelligentsia do not support energy independence for Australia, and they certainly want us reliant on hostile countries for our energy infrastructure. And finally, question 19. Does the project take appropriate measures to protect women and defend against gender ideology? That's going to be a hard fail for every Australian university. Now, the reality is that the amount of American money going to Australian universities isn't huge. It's certainly less than what they get from China and other places. So this isn't exactly going to push the university system into bankruptcy. But it is a significant statement of intent from the US. And if you're one of my trolls sitting there saying, this is the US trying to tell our universities what to do and what they're allowed to teach, no, it's not. The US aren't trying to stop our unis from participating in whatever nonsense they want to participate in. They're just refusing to continue funding the nonsense, which is absolutely their right to do with their money. But really, this questionnaire isn't about the universities at all. This questionnaire will send a shiver down the spine of the Australian government. Think about it. Would our government pass these questions? No gender ideology? No diversity, equity, and inclusion policies? Basically, racism and discrimination in drag. How about pro-energy independence policies and not being dependent on our adversaries for our energy infrastructure? How about not taking money from communists? Certainly the Labour Party would have a very hard time with that one, but there's a lot of Liberal Party people who would too. Not serving the UN, World Health Organization, or World Economic Forum. And honestly, that's a big one because those organisations have their tentacles deep into Australian government and political parties. And how about something as simple as supporting free speech? Well, we know that they don't. So this letter may have been sent to our universities, but it's a warning to the entire country. If you want to benefit from the United States of America, financially, politically, or I would suggest in the form of military support and security, then you'd better get your house in order. This questionnaire doesn't just highlight the glaring flaws in our universities, it highlights how badly Australia has lost its way. I would suggest that with some simple rewording, this same questionnaire should be sent to every single Australian government department. Do they serve the Australian people? Or are they serving DEI and gender ideology? Do they serve the Australian people? Or are they undermining our energy independence and making us dependent on foreign countries, many of which don't particularly like us? Are they doing what's best for Australians, or are they doing the will of global bodies? Because it is abundantly clear that you cannot do both. And if you want to take money from Australians, then hey, newsflash, Australian government, you'd better start serving Australians and concerning yourself only with what's best for us. This questionnaire from Trump, this isn't just good for a giggle, it's a template. And these questions, these are the ones that we must force our politicians to answer before we ever vote for them again. My name is Topher Field. This is the Topher Project, and I help people like you to understand the world as it changes around us. Follow all my work via @Topher Field on all the socials, and grab a copy of my book, my t-shirts, my hoodies, etc. from goodpeoplebreakbadlaws.com, and I'll see you in the next video.